Okay, welcome lecture 3. I will introduce to data collection methods here a bit detailed. So I will explore different ways to collect data for your research and focusing on questionnaire design, interview techniques and observation methods. I will discuss more on it. First, let's start with questionnaire design and purpose. A questionnaire is a research tool used to collect data from respondents by asking a series of structured questions. The primary purpose of a questionnaire is to obtain specific, measurable data that can be analyzed and interpreted to answer your research questions. An effective questionnaire should be clear, concise, and focused on the research objectives. It should match with your research objectives. You need to choose the right type of questions, such as multiple choice or open-ended questions, depending on the information you wish to gather. Additionally, it is important to ensure that the questions are unbiased and easy to understand. So now I will move to the interview techniques and types. Interviews are another common types of or methods of data collection. So that can provide in more in-depth insights compared to questionnaire. Interviews can be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. Structured interviews use a set of predefined questions that are asked in the same order to all participants, ensuring consistency in data collection or data collected. Semi-structured interviews allows for more flexibility with a list of topics or questions, but also space for interviewer to probe further, to go further, to add some questions. Unstructured interviews are more like a conversation, allowing participants to speak freely on the topic. Choosing the right type of interview depends on your research goals. Structured interviews are useful when you need to compare responses across many participants, while semi-structured and unstructured interviews are ideal for exploring complex issues in greater depth. Finally, let's talk about observation methods and guidelines. Observations are used when you want to collect data on behaviors, actions, or events in the natural setting. Without intervening in the environment, observation can be either participant or non participant. In participant observation, the researcher becomes involved in the activities they are observing, while in non participant observation, the researcher remains detached. Regardless of the type, it is essential to follow the ethical guidelines such as obtaining informed consent, respecting privacy, and ensuring accuracy in recording observation. So, observational methods can be highly effective when we study behaviors that are difficult to capture through interviews or surveys. So, but they require careful planning and attention to detail to ensure reliable data. So, while summarizing it, I have covered the main data collection methods questionnaire, interviews, and observation. Now, I want to focus on designing the data collection tools. Okay, so I will focus on how to design effective data tools. I will create survey questions, how we will create survey questionnaires or interview schedules or designing observation, checklist, or writing items for research. Okay, let's start with creating survey questionnaire. The design of your survey questionnaire is crucial and important to gathering reliable data. A well-designed questionnaire starts with clear research objectives and includes a balanced set of questions that align with those objectives. So when designing your question, you need to consider the types of questions you will use. Closed-ended questions, such as multiple choice, allow for easy quantifications and analysis. Open-ended questions, on the other hand, provide richer qualitative data, but they are more time-consuming to analyze. So it is also important to sequence your questions logically. Starting with general questions or moving to more specific ones, ensure that the language is clear and free from ambiguity, and avoid leading or biased questions that could influence respondents' answers. So now I want to discuss about developing interview schedules. An interview schedule is a tool that outlines the questions or topics to be covered during the interview. It helps to ensure the consistency. When developing the interview schedule, you should first create an outline with broad themes based on your research question. Then break each theme down into specific questions or prompts. For semi-structured or unstructured interviews, consider having follow-up questions ready in case you need to probe further. So ensure that the interview schedule allows for flexibility and does not constrain the interviewee, and leave space for natural conversation and unanticipated insights. Now I focus on designing observation checklist. An observation checklist is a tool that helps you systematically record your observation. It includes a list of behaviors or actions to watch for during the observation period. While designing a checklist, make sure it is based on your research objectives and includes specific observable behavior. Be clear about the categories or criteria you use to categorize what you observe and ensure your checklist is practical for use in the field. So now I want to discuss writing test items for research. If your research involves testing knowledge or skills, writing effective test item is also key. While writing test items, make sure the questions are clear and focused on the specific knowledge or skills you are assessing or evaluating. So now I have discussed how to design effective data collection tools, including survey questionnaire, interview schedules, observation checklist, and test items. So a well-designed tool ensures you collect reliable and valid data, which is critical for the success of your research work. Thank you for watching.